Right, so here it goes. After all the celebrations, it's over now. It's calm. Me with my son. And what I'm going to do, first of all, this is the start of a new journey. I'm going to tell you about my journey as a Liverpool fan, supporter. And I'll give you little nuggets, the difference between the two, you understand? And my son's here. Tell you a bit about my son's journey. But before I go on to that, we will be doing this on YouTube. I'm literally maybe about a week away from my first YouTube live. I'll be live. I'll have a better background than this. It won't be just the Liverpool thing. There will be a Dominican flag. There'll, you know what I mean? There'll be my culture. Be, you know what I mean? I want to connect with you people, and I want to be able to teach, not even teach, well, teach, share, you know, learn, because you know I can learn from comments. But I want to be able to teach people my connection with loving Liverpool, loving sports, and my appreciation of this. This is what it's really about. Me watching our club that we love, keeping up a family tradition. I used to watch football and wrestling with my dad and my grandpa, my auntie, my uncle. You understand me? What it looks like. Let me tell you what that would look like. That would look like church in the morning, right? And when I say church in the morning, I mean like, you know, your Church of England Church, St. Silas and Pentonville. I've got to salute them. They were part of my first journey with Christ. But without getting too holy and everything. But basically, we go there at 11 o'clock. We finish there at 12. We stay around because family members of mine knew the clergy. We weren't just sitting on benches. We were there active in the church. And my grandpa, it was get home. Dinner is on the table for 4, 5 o'clock. You eat the dinner. You're sitting around the table. Average Sunday, there could be, I don't know, it could be 10 of us. There could be 5 of us. There could be 15, 20 of us. But either way, we're around the table as a family. And 4 Super Sundays on the TV. And these are the I'm talking about the late 80s, early 90s here. So this is the transition between Liverpool being a great, successful club to going through a very low period of their time. But this is my journey. My journey basically is this, yeah. Is that's how I started loving wrestling and loving Liverpool Football Club. Because around that time, in the mid to late 80s, early 90s, I'm watching football with the family after church on a Sunday dinner, Easter Sunday dinner. In the summer holidays, I'm up there. I'm you know what I mean? I'm with my family. You know what I mean? So this is not just about loving the football club because everybody likes them and everybody, it's a fad. This is loving the club, growing up, watching the club, understanding the club. And like I mentioned in my live stream before when we're going completely ballistic, is about watching Johnny Barnes, a black football player that we could look up to. He's from the Caribbean. You understand me? I don't want to be racing to it, people, but for you to understand what this journey, you got to understand what they saw. And what I saw is the majority of the time I saw racism on TV. When I saw black players getting booed or monkey noises, I saw that in the mid 80s. I saw that in the late 80s, and that hurt. But seeing Johnny Barnes play for Liverpool and seeing the crowd go crazy, seeing white, black, mixed race, Indian, Asian, what, all different races cheering for a black man. That done something to me in the 80s, right? But I'm going to fast forward a bit because when I truly knew I was a Liverpool supporter, right? Because I'm going to let my son talk as well and he'll tell you when he became a Liverpool supporter, right? When I truly became a Liverpool supporter, yes, it was my dad watching football with my dad, but it was actually when I came back from Dominica, right, in 1995. I went there in 93, came back in 95. And I leave when I'm in, it's emotional, guys, so sorry about this. But I leave when I'm in secondary school, right? And when I leave, most of my friends are either Arsenal fans, there's some Tottenham fans, and there might be the odd Man United fan. Might be, right? So, believe it or not, I stay in Dominique for 2.5 going on 3 years. I come back, and all of them fans, tell your grandpa I'm on live. All the fans that were Arsenal, Tottenham fans, all of a sudden Man United fans. And I'm like, hold on. Hold on a minute. When I left, you were Arsenal fans. When I left, you were Tottenham fans. Now you're Man United. So here's here's the lesson here, right? I still realise, even in Dominica, I wanted to know how Liverpool were doing. When Liverpool won the League Cup in '95, I was happy about it. But I'm in Dominica, we're watching cricket, and I'm getting licks for not doing my homework, and you know, and if I'm getting licks if I see an elder in the street and I don't say good afternoon or good evening or good morning to them, you understand? So when I'm down there thinking of Liverpool still, right, people, I come back to the UK and I realise, hold on, I still love my Liverpool, and all my friends, secondary school friends, old primary school friends, are all loving up other teams. I'm like, how can you switch teams like that? But that's when I knew I loved Liverpool. When I knew that I was an avid Liverpool fan, is when I realised that, hold on, but we ain't won a league since 1990, and then it's 96, and it's like, oh, the Man United won a few titles, and then it's 98, and we ain't won nothing. We ain't winning nothing, right? But here's my point. I still stuck with my team. Most of my friends are now Man United fans, right? Yeah, in comes Mourinho, and now they're Chelsea fans. So now Arsenal fans are Chelsea fans, and then some Tottenham fans have switched allegiance to Man United, or they're Chelsea fans. But I stuck to my team. And this is a very low part, because remember, and you've got to give him respect, Ferguson. Sorry, the only sir I know is my teachers and my people in my church and my elders. I don't know no sir crowned by no queen. I'm sorry, I'm not Republican, but nor am I enemy. But anyway, politics. Ferguson said he's going to knock Liverpool off their perch. Okay, fine. Kudos to him. Move up, son. All right. Kudos to him, he did. Because Liverpool were faffing around. Now, just a little historical facts for you. And I need to look at this, because all what I'm talking about now, I'll bring it onto YouTube and I'll give you dates and times, and I'll give you stats and facts. But to give you an idea now, so this is a soft idea, right? The last family-run and British-run football club out the so-called big six, all the big teams, Liverpool's run by the Moores family. And if you know who the Moores family are, they done the pools. Anybody who's in the 70s and 80s, they done the pools, right? And Liverpool was run by a Moores family, and they were family, right? And they ran Liverpool up until, I think it was the 2Ks. I forgot when the first American owners took over. I think that was around 2006, 2008. But either way, the Moores family were running the club, and Ferguson come and knocked us off our perch. We ain't winning nothing. Man United going to do the treble again. Come and join Man United. No, I'm not joining no team because, you know, refs on their side and they're winning things. No, I will stick to my Liverpool because I loved them from when I was a child with my dad. I came back from Dominica, from a whole nother country, and I still had them in my system. I couldn't shake Liverpool Football Club. I couldn't shake and forget who Liverpool are. You understand? And obviously, as the internet, and think of the time frame I'm talking about now, coming to the late 90s, what you've got to recognize is the internet's booming now, so you can get information more. You can start looking at old footage of old games. Do you understand? Liverpool Football Club's like to me more to me than just the team you watch. You understand me? I put money into the club. I was subscribing to how many different things. I bought kits, whatever. You understand me? And I lost them. Another story for another time. Point in the matter is I've got affiliation to the club. It's not just following a fad. It's following a people, following a movement. You understand me? And when you come into the 2000s now, right? Now, and this is the funny thing about Liverpool Football Club. Even at our worst time, Man United are walking away with money, and they got their money, they got their stadium, and they're winning stuff. But Liverpool get the odd victory here. They get the odd cup here and everything. So they're always relevant. Yeah. What made me love this club more is that as much as we've been told we're rubbish and we ain't matter no more and we ain't no one no more, yeah, we're still relevant. Teams still come to Anfield and play their hearts out. Still, and I'm talking about the late 90s here. I'm talking about the early 2000s here. I'm talking about when Man United at their peak, Ferguson's running the show. Wenger's come and he's done his bit with Arsenal. Chelsea's come with Mourinho's come and he's done his bit with Chelsea. All the money getting spent. I'm talking about when Liverpool are not supposed to be relevant, but we're still producing talent. I'm talking about the Steve McManamans, the Robbie Fowlers. I'll say the Michael Owens, the Steven Gerrards. I'm talking about the Jason McAteers. There are players down the years that Liverpool have produced, and they go through the system. They've won a trophy or two. Steve McManaman went to Real Madrid and won the Champions League. What does that tell you? We're producing great talent. What I'm trying to express to you guys here, I connected with the players. I saw players that believed. No one believed in them. They believed in themselves and they believed in the club. And the club's motto: "You'll never walk alone." All this is a community. You understand me? The more I learn about Liverpool, I mean, it's only recently I heard about Winston Churchill, what he'd done. But this is where I start to respect the city. Is when I knew about the history. John Holden, 1892, 93. And this is another history lesson. People would know this, but you need to know the actual relevance. And again, on YouTube, I'll go into deeper detail I'm about to say now. Did you know, son, that John Holden was the chairman of Everton Football Club?
Come again?
There's a church, I keep forgetting St. Michael, St. Edward, something like that. And church football team, right? When I say church football team, members of the church form the football team, right? And they form the football team and they used to get changed in the pub. And church politics is that they didn't really want to have a football team affiliated. What are you talking about? They affiliated to a pub, drinking. You understand me? You got to understand this is a time where, let me see if I can get you in a shot more, son. There you go. Right? This is a time where there was morals in society. You understand me? So you didn't want to mix church with alcohol. But anyway, let me speed forward a bit. Basically, Everton Football Club was born. Right? And basically, they were playing in a park. Now, if you're playing in a park, you're kicking about. It looks like a kickabout, but it's actually a proper football game. Right? Now, what you got to understand, right, is they needed share and they needed order to the chaos. So they needed to get a football pitch. They needed to get stands. They needed to keep the public out and you had to pay to come in. And all this started to structure what football is like today. So anyway, let me speak for a little bit more because this kind of thing is the content we're going to do on YouTube and you'll be sitting there and you'll be learning stuff. You'll do your research and you'll come in and you'll tell the people then why you love Liverpool. But you can give them the history from 2010. Understand me? When you're born. You can give them the history when 2016 and I'm cussing the screen and you're thinking weren't that in church this morning, but I'm swearing at this one guy, I'm mad because you know what I mean, these people are against my team. You understand what I'm saying to you, right? You can give them that historical fact. You understand me? But here's the key thing. Let's go back to Everton. So how John Holden comes into play is basically he builds a little stadium for them. You know what the name of that stadium was?
Park.
Anfield.
Oh.
Should have known that, son. I've told you about this. So anyway, listen. Anfield was the home to Everton Football Club. John Holden basically raised their rent. He owned land where Anfield is now and adjacent to it. And then he owned a plot of land. But either way, again, I'm going to go more detail about this because you can find this on the internet. But you need to go deep. So don't just Google it. You need to go deep to understand the politics of it. And I will go into detail about this on my YouTube. But to get to the point, he basically raises the rent for Anfield. And there's a rent dispute. And there's other politics in play here. But what happens is Everton leave Anfield. And they go to, and you just said it, Goodison Park. There's to the pub. There's land adjacent to the pub. The people who then run Everton, they form Everton Football Club at Goodison Park. That's just the light version of the history of Everton and Liverpool and where their rival came from. John Holden, the Scotsman himself, goes and gets, and this is literally, I'm going to give it to you as raw as I can without getting explicit. Lads, you know, there's a large up. Lads, come play some football for me, lads. Well, no, that's more Cockney, isn't it?
Yeah, that's more Cockney.
The Scottish thing, I can't do it. But either way, he gets a couple of Scottish guys, gets a couple of Irish guys, right? And Liverpool Football Club are formed at Anfield. This is 1892, right? So, just to let you know the background of the football club from the very early days, right? But through 1900s, 1902, we start winning league titles. We get into the league, I think it's in 1888. And our history, it's a long history, we're going way back. But let's fast forward to the two key things. When I learned about that made me, I'm curious about Liverpool now. Heysel and Hillsborough. People will know this. Hillsborough, 97 people were unlawfully let down by the law, by the police, and they died, right? But that made me realise, hold on, You'll Never Walk Alone really means something now. It means more than just a song by Jerry and the Pacemakers. It actually represents something bigger than just a football club. There's a people, right? To go back to move forward, the reason why John Holden named Liverpool Football Club, because he wanted a team that doesn't represent the area, Everton. He wanted a team that the whole state, the whole city. And that's why Liverpool is a people club. So Liverpool now are a people club. They are now representing the city. But do you really want a team that's losing representing you? No. So the people get affiliated to Liverpool. They start to bond with Liverpool. Liverpool becomes more than just a team. Yeah? So if we skip through to Heysel, we know about Juventus, Champions League final, European Cup final, it was called back then. And unfortunately, it was a disaster. Yeah, again, in disaster, we stuck together as a people. You understand me? Right? Hillsborough happened and everything, right? But talking about Everton, the Milk Cup final, I'm just reading about it. The reason why that stands out is because the Sun disgustingly, and I'm going to name them, the newspaper, they're disgusting what they've done. They basically said that Liverpool fans in the Hills of Disaster, yeah, right, and the Heysel disaster, basically reported that it was the hooligans that was basically their hooligans, and they were people were dead on the floor, they're robbing them and urinating on them, all them thing there, yeah, you understand, right? But what it is I don't want to get my disasters mixed up. But what happened now is Liverpool and Everton played in the Milk Cup final. I believe this was after Heysel. I don't want to get my dates mixed up again. I could be wrong. But again, I'm going to go into more depth on this on the YouTube channel. That's going live next week. Is it next week? I said next week, yes. Yeah. So now I have to do it. It was actually 2 weeks.
Well,
but now I have to do it next week because I said it's going live next week.
Early access.
Either way, Everton and Liverpool fans in one voice filled Wembley Stadium in unity, and it wasn't about who's going to win the cup now. It was about being united from one city, and that made me look at Liverpool and think, no, I like these people. I like this club. They represent more than just winning a game of football. They mean business. They want to represent the city. So this is the 80s, guys, and remember, I'm born in 81. So when we're in the mid 80s. Black and white TV on daddy's lap. I've got a picture I've got to show you, son. I've got headphones on and my dad listening to music. He's a Liverpool fan. Watching Champions League final 84. Who did we play?
I don't know.
Roma. Bruce Guavela, wobbly legs, the dance on the line and all that. All of that I've gone through, guys. So when we fast forward now to the 2000s, into mid-90s, I come back from Dominica and I still love this club, and then we come into the 2000s, and like I was saying, to where I left off, when you see Chelsea spending all the money and winning everything with money, Mourinho and everything, and then you see him bias refereeing, I still believe in my club. So this is my journey with Liverpool Football Club, the fast version. I will slow it down and give you more in depth later on, like I said. But here's the key thing. I love the club because when you go through the 90s, you see the amount of players that we produced. And obviously Steven Gerrard stands out because he's the one, even though he didn't win a Premier League, he done everything else with the club and he represented the city. Now we're looking at Trent and Curtis Jones and Elliot there. Well, Elliot was brought in, but Curtis Jones, Conor Bradley, them boys there, they're youth players. We brought them through the academy, and you know what I mean? So we're still producing good players. And yeah, we're buying in some foreigners. You understand me? I'm not against the foreign policy, but I just think there are still too many foreigners in my own club, and my own team, and other teams. Another debate for another time. So these are subject matters we're going to touch on. So everything I'm saying here now, you can basically take little bits of everything I'm saying, and that's going to be a big discussion I'm going to have on the channel, and I'll have guests coming in and everything, right? So anyway, that is my journey with Liverpool. It's their whole history of representing the city of Liverpool and people coming together. Even at our worst times where everybody's spending money and everybody's got the famous Beckhams and the famous, you know what I mean, like, and Lampards and all these famous names and all this money, Liverpool is still not spending money and they're still a family-run club. I need to get the actual factual dates on when the Moors had to sell up to the first Americans who nearly put us out of business. Liverpool were a few days without going out of business completely, and this is when you were born. You were born 2010. This is around that time. When you now start watching football with your daddy, the new owners are in, you know what I mean, right? And this is when
we have today.
The ones that we have today. When Brendan Rodgers was there, they came in around that time. Brendan Rodgers was what, 2013, 2014. Suarez, 31 goals in the season, should have won the league and all of that. Yeah, right. This is when you're still in the diapers. But this is what I'm saying. This is when you're starting to, like me with my daddy in the 80s, you're starting to see daddy watching Liverpool. And you're probably thinking this man's a nutter. He was in church this morning praising the Lord and giving words of encouragement. But now he's cussing off the TV. I had a lot to learn. Right? So we now come to what we're doing. We're doing where we are now, 2015, 2016. So this is when you're 5'6".
Yeah.
And you decide you want to love Liverpool like your daddy. Yeah. So here's the significance of this. You only had to wait 9 years to see them win the Champions League. I had to wait until 2005.
So let me do the math. That's 14 years.
Right. So no. So when I'm born in 81, right? Yeah. I have to wait till 2005 to see them win the Champions League.
Oh.
I have to wait till 2020 to see them win the Premier League. Because remember, in 1990, Yeah, right. I'm still young. I'm 9. You understand me? I love football, but it's more I'm with my uncle and we're watching football. Full Super Sunday, Liverpool v Man United. My dad's there. He's eating some food. You know what I mean? Grandma's in the chair falling asleep, and Uncle Mike's and my Uncle Fred, and they're debating about having debates. And I'm seeing my uncle. More, they're like my uncles, but they're not blood uncles. But Uncle Dennis, Uncle David. Shout out to Uncle David and Uncle Dennis on the family side. Not your Uncle Dennis, but my Uncle Mike's closest friends are like family friends. That they're like close friends that came family. But that's what I'm saying. I'm around grown men, seeing them debate about football, and I want to be a part of it. You understand? But this is what I'm saying. This is why I love Liverpool. That was me. We're having Sunday dinner. Everybody's half the family are falling asleep at the table. We go and we're on the TV and we're watching football together. Understand me? Right? So that was me loving Liverpool. And that's when I'm 9, 10, 11. I mean, Gold Dominic could come back, then I decide, no, I want to follow this team still. So, I've gone on a bit too long here. So let's bring my son in, right? So, I touched on 2016, 2017 now, right? And remember now, Klopp comes in. And that's when you start seeing Liverpool play proper football. Understand? Right? Because now, when you see them winning, you see the passion in your daddy, and you get passionate. I had to wait to see them win the Champions League, I had to wait from 81 born all the way to 2005. Yeah? You're not born then, no? But you were born in 2010, and then you saw them win it in 2019. You only waited 9 years. Then you only waited 10 years to see them win the league. Yeah? Now you've seen it again today. That's why this is special, son. Because now you're 14, and you can decide if you want to follow this team. You can decide for yourself who you like. So, this is what I'm going to do to bring you onto this, yeah? What does today mean to you?
Right. So, for me, today, in my point of view, it's significant, obviously, for the matters that we've now equaled United's 20 titles. So now Liverpool are on 20 titles, and so is United. So there's that. But also, for me, it's also personally significant. Because if you think about it, it's the first time Liverpool's actually won a league that I've been old enough to understand in front of a crowd. I was old enough to understand in 2020. It's just unspeakable. Well, not unspeakable, but lockdown happened, didn't it? So...
Isn't it?
Yes. So lockdown happened. So everyone was behind closed doors, masks, 2020 lockdown.
Convid, not COVID. Convid.
And say 6 feet away, yada. So it's special to me because I actually get to see my club lift the trophy in front of the fans in about a month's time. And so, yeah. But touching on what my dad was talking about, he's actually kind of lined it up perfectly because I only started watching football like properly in like 2017, 2018, so I'll continue from there. But when I was coming home from church, because I didn't understand much, because when I came home from church, quite a few stuff was a bit, now thinking about it, it's a bit of a blur. But I remember coming home and sometimes Liverpool were playing. So when they were, I either went next door doing something which I really do not remember, or watching the game, which more times than not was happening. So then I think I watched the 2018 final against Madrid. Then did I watch the 2018 Champions League final against Madrid?
All right, let me come back in. You need to move up, son.
All right.
So here you go. So here's another thing. So my son literally just said he watches the time that we lost to Madrid in 2018, right? And this is when he started to love football, right? Now, here's the significance of this, yeah? You're watching this football royalty. Son, sit back, relax. You can move up next to me, but sit back, relax, chill, all right?
All right.
There you go. And yours is watching Real Madrid, 15 times European champions, football royalty, right? But this is another significant thing, and I'm glad you touched on Real Madrid, right? The difference between, and who's my Spanish club?
Barcelona.
All right, so if you watch the history of Barcelona, they are a people club as well. Real Madrid, no, and I'm not, this is not geography. Look at their history. Yeah, they're the government club. They represent authority, but forced authority, not authority that everybody agrees with. They represent authority that people don't want to conform to. It's false. I say I don't want to judge a country, but you can read this online yourself, and there is fascism and racism in there, but it's more oppression and everything. You understand me? So not this club. So, but they represent that. You understand me? But Real Madrid mean more than that. They are an amazing club. They're good run. They're good people that run that club. So I'm not here going to judge Real Madrid. That's not what I'm going to do here. But that is the rivalry between the people club, Barcelona, in times of adversity, war, and everything. Their new camp became a camp for people to go and camp in and everything, you know what I mean? Against the authority figures. They're about the money, the power and everything, and you understand? So there's different reasons why I love Barcelona, the people club, and Liverpool, the people club, because like I touched on my live, if anybody doesn't know, Winston Churchill truly did, and you can do your research yourself, in 1914, the city was on strike. Winston Churchill parked a gunship in the River Mersey and put it into the city and literally said, if you don't come on strike, we'll blow up your city. Facts are online. Yeah, they're a people club. They represent the people. So when, you know what I mean? So just to let you know, to understand, son, it's more than a club. Hence why Barcelona scores more than a club. You understand me? So you mentioned Real Madrid. They are football royalty, but they do come from a very rich background. Yeah? There was a day where they said Barcelona represent the poor man. Not no longer. They have wealth, but their wealth is gained through the people. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Real Madrid accumulated wealth. Bring it back to England now. Liverpool, born out of a Scotsman that loves football. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry to say, you Mancunians out there, you're born out of money. Go back to the 80s when you're going bust. No, go back to the 50s when you're going bust. 56, I believe, when you're going bust. And Newton Heath, who turned into Man United, were going bust. 4 businessmen came together. 4 businesses in the city came together to form your club. I'm not dissing it, saying, you know, I'm not going to quote scripture, the love of man is the roots of evil, when it is, yes. But it's money that brought the club to fame. It wasn't hard grit and people. You understand me? It was money. But the rivalry is the Docks. I've told you about this, but again, more on this on YouTube. I will go into this in depth. But if you look at the River Mersey, it flows through Liverpool, goes up to Manchester. Basically, Liverpool being, if you know about the Windrush generation, you know about the Beatles and the music generation, it was a wealthy city, but their dockers, the hard workers, the working man, they worked on the docks. They worked, you know what I mean? That's where the money came from. Yeah, they had jobs, but that's where the bacon was. That, you know what I mean? When you go to work 9 to 5, grinding it out in the coal mines and everything, that was Liverpool. And that river was the way out to the world to get the wealth in. Manchester go and build a canal, and the government, the English government, okay, this, build a canal that bypasses the Mersey and it goes up to Manchester, and that's basically how Manchester started to get their money. And that's where the rivalry started. The rivalry did not start as a football clubs, it started as the people. Now the people, the hard workers, right? This is what Monday to Friday will be like. Monday to Friday will be getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning in the cold dew, the cold weather, going to work from 6, 7, all the way around to probably 6, 7 at night. Understand me, right? And when you're working that hard to put bread on the table for your family, for your wife and your children, you get a brotherhood. And that brotherhood brought the people of Liverpool together, right? Now, sorry for going on, but this is so you to understand the club that I love, right? And this is why I love them, right? People could work hard in the city of Liverpool, and there was unity there, you understand, right? But that got taken from them because that river that river that passed Liverpool went up to Manchester. They took all the trade. They started getting money. You understand me? Mm-hmm. Right? So Manchester United Football Club are bought out of money, right? But those same people, what Saturday looked like is, lads, let's go on the lash and watch a game of football. They're in the pub at 12 midday, 1 o'clock. They go and watch the 3 o'clock game together on the terraces. Pint of beer, singing what? Church hymns, because Sunday they will be in church. Mm-hmm. So they would take the church hymns, they take it to the terraces. More on this again on YouTube, and I'll give you more details about those songs. And there's some surprising football clubs that I will share with you guys that had some hymns that we sing today. So if we go to a Catholic or English church, in Church of England church, they sing the hymns. And okay, let me give you one. You know, the Saints, Southampton Saints go marching in. I was talking about this yesterday as well, but those hymns left the church and went to the terraces on the Sunday. And then as time's gone on, football went from Saturday to Sunday. more on that on the channel, right? So there's a lot to look forward to on the channel where I'll go into detail about this. But those men that were working hard together, that compadre, that brotherhood, yeah, they're working hard all week, putting food on the table for their wives. They're on the terraces together on a Saturday afternoon. Do you understand? Right? So that trade going to Manchester, it started with the people. The rivalry started with the people, is what the point I'm trying to get to. Then it went to the football clubs. Because those people went to the football clubs. Right? More on that later. So that's my journey with Liverpool. And so when you mention Real Madrid, it triggered me to speak about, well, who are Barcelona? Who are Real Madrid's rivals? Barcelona. Technically, it's Atletico Madrid because Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, same city. But Atletico Madrid's journey through football is different to Real Madrid. But like Manchester United Football Club and Liverpool Football Club, they're not in the same city, are they?
Nope.
But the rivalry came from the people. Real Madrid, Barcelona. It came through the authority via the people. You understand me? It's the same thing. The people went into the clubs and brought it there. You understand me? So, Liverpool's rival are Everton. They're their true rivals. But because of the clubs that are winning at games and the people, Man United are their rivals. Same thing was Real Madrid, Barcelona. The real rivalry Real Madrid is Atletico Madrid. City rivalry. Espanyol is Barcelona's true rivals. Same city because they're in Barcelona. People, you getting this? I hope you are. Because this is going to be on the channel and I'll go in depth. And man, woman, child will be able to relate to it. Because again, if we come to now, you watched that final and what did you see? Did you see Liverpool win or lose?
Let's just say Loris Karius messed up.
Well, I didn't ask you about the players. I said, did you see them win or lose?
Lose.
There you go. Did you leave him?
No.
You stuck to Liverpool.
Of course.
What did you see a year later?
We won it.
This is what it's about. It's sticking to your team. Remember going back to when I'm in my teens. He's 14. When I'm his age and I'm coming back from Dominica, all my friends are jumping ship. You understand me? But look at my son. Look at my boy. My boy's following his daddy tradition. Stick to your team. Don't jump ship because they're losing a few games. So, here it goes, guys. So, my affiliation to Liverpool, again, on the channel, I'll go into why the difference between a fan and a supporter. We are supporters. We don't go with the fanfare. We don't go with the fad and the trend. We go with the club we support. You understand me? Now, in little money, don't go into the club. I have subscriptions to the club, and there's ways my money's going to the club down the years. Difference between supporter and a fan. More on the channel later. So, what's today about? Because people are wondering, the headline to this is Liverpool champions of England. There's no difference, ladies and gentlemen, between the Premier League and the Football League in terms of Division 1. Okay? There's no difference. It's just a name change. More on this on the channel, but I'll go into a bit more now. In 1992, businessmen, a business consortium, took the English game away from the English FA. The English FA regulate the rules, yes, and they got the FA Cup and they have the structure of the Championship, League 1 and League 2. The Premier League, a business consortium, in 1992, formed a breakaway league. 20 clubs decided to leave the FA and join a consortium, a business. That's when the sponsorship started to come in. Money started to come into the game more because that's why the teams left the Football League, because there was promise of more riches over the horizon. Do you know the club that benefited from that the most?
By logic, it should be Man United.
That's right. That's why they came to fame. Because yes, they got the class of 92 and Ferguson got there. What is an 86 or 87 and everything. Or not Liverpool, their perch. Was it not Sheffield United or Nottingham Forest? Sheffield United gave them a drubbing and he was about to get sacked. But then I think it's Forest. There was a game that he won in the last minute, Fergie time and everything. Goes to show the rivalry. You need to respect your enemy. I said it in a live stream. Respect the enemy before you can beat them. They had to respect Liverpool. And they knocked us off our perch. He did it. 13 Premier League trophies. Only 4 of them won fairly. All the rest of them is this dodgy refereeing. More on that on the channel. And I can prove it. But I'm not a bitter fan, by the way. But I need to give you points of where Man United will say Liverpool had the luck of the draw. Sometimes you do need a bit of luck. But you do need to generally win. You have to work generally hard to be able to get that luck. More on that later. But anyway, point of the matter is this. is with Liverpool now, right, winning 20 and drawing level with Man United, right, it means more now. Because when you look at our trophy haul and Man United's trophy haul, we've won more than them.
Mm-hmm.
More Champions Leagues. The only thing they've got on us now is the FA Cup. They've won it 13 times. We've only won it, 7 or 8.
Mm.
So people, this means a lot today. Watching my son and we're watching the game. I'm seeing the ref try to give the game to Tottenham. Some dodgy fouls. And I'm vexed. I'm like, I might just go sleep. I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. Because ironically, I'm going to do a football channel and a wrestling channel. It's a sports channel. But I'm not really going to be watching football much next season. I'll watch it with my son. Because like my dad watched it with me. Understand me? But I'm not really going to be passionate about it no more. What I'm going to do on my channel, I'm going to give you football logic, football stats, football facts. You understand me? And it's going to be non-biased. Even though I love my team still, yeah. But it's going to be non-biased. Because I'm going to be covering football, as in the Premier League, La Liga, and the Bundesliga. I'll be covering wrestling, and that's more WWE. And I'll also be covering church matters as well, so social matters in society. Because again, with football, you'll see there were actually some football teams, yeah, right, that were actually the church reverend gathering in a park to play some football. Some of the football clubs were formed from cricket teams. They decided to change sport. There's a whole lot of history I'm going to give you, and I'm going to try to make sure that you could connect to it. So again, man, woman, or child, you will be able to connect to it somehow. And another example, those Arsenal fans, right? Oh, sorry, the true word, Arsenal. Why did I not pick Arsenal when? And here's historical facts. I actually grew up in Finsbury Park, North London. Blackstock Road is where my primary school is, Ambler Primary School. It's literally a 6-minute walk from the old Highbury Stadium. Where Arsenal are now, the Emirates, is right next to my nursery. There's a railway bridge on the other side of that is called Harvest Estate Nursery. And when I go onto the channel, I'll show you a picture of my son here when he's about 6, and his older brother, my son Nehemiah, he's 18 now, but you are 4 years apart. So Nehemiah is about 10, and I'm at front of Harvest Estate Nursery when they were building the Emirates. When they were clearing that ground, because that was landfill. Oh, a rubbish club built on a rubbish field. You know what a landfill is? Is where they dump the rubbish. You know that black bag? When I throw it in the bin, they go to a landfill and dump it. Yeah. So where the Emirates is, facts. Where the Emirates is, yeah, son. Where the Emirates is built was actually where they used to throw garbage. It was a landfill. Yeah. Facts, people. I'm not just gunning Arsenal here. Facts. Harvest Estate Nursery is on the other side of the bridge, and on the other side was where the landfill was. It's derelict land, and now that's where they built the stadium. But to bring it back home, Harvest Estate Nursery is right next to the Emirates, right next to Sober Sports Centre, where my daddy used to work. Yeah, right. And where he start chatting up my mum in the Odeon in Holloway. Little history lesson for you. Your grandpa used to work in Sober Sports Centre, right? Which is right next to Harvest Estate Nursery, yeah, right? And your nan used to go and trouble him. She used to work at the Odeon. Another history lesson. Again, more about me later. But the point of the matter is, Sober Sports Centre, which is next to Harvest Estate Nursery, which is next to the Emirates, is 2 minutes walk from where I used to live. So right now, Arsenal have gone from living 10 minutes up the road, 6 minutes from my primary school, to 3 minutes to walk away from your nan's doorstep now. Pavement Primary School is across the road from Sober Sports Centre, which is literally up the road from the Emirates. So I'm a North London boy. Some of you going to probably be wondering, so why support Liverpool? Well, the beginning of this video is why. You'll see the history of the club, and I'm doing this. You see this here? My dad and I were doing this. You understand me? Watching football through the mid to late 80s and early 90s, and that's how I became a Liverpool supporter. You understand? Right? So that's a little historical nugget for you, son, for you to know that how on earth do you support Liverpool then? And my grandpa, who's my hero, and I love that man, and he basically, the man I am today is because, like I was telling you, my grandpa, my grandma, my granny, I didn't meet my dad's dad. That would have been my granddad. But those 3 people are the reason why who I am today. I owe them so much. So grandma, Hughes, Teresa Hughes, I love you, you're in heaven. Leo McDonald's, his grandpapa. That's how I used to say it.
Grandpa part is
I love you,
crazy.
you're in heaven. Hence why you call my dad, your grandpa.
I know.
Yeah? And my granny, my mum's mum, rest in peace, she's in heaven, she was from Dominica. But they have formed who I am today. You understand me? Right? So, again, all of this is coming out, guys, because I'm emotional today. We are champions, but there's history to this. It's not just we're watching our team win football. No, there's history to this. You understand? So, this tradition here is going to continue because I'm hoping you could... Oh, I'm going to give this to you and then we'll go back to him because you need to talk more. Talk more.
Yo!
Talk more.
You're the one talking!
Yeah. You need to talk more. This is us.
I know.
When we're on the channel, you'll be doing stuff. You'll be drumming in the background and we're going to film you drumming. And you can see your musical career. You understand me? This is a family thing, son. This is not YouTube trying to get likes and money. No, this is tradition. We need to connect with these people so they know why do they love football club? Who are they? Understand? Because they can relate. Because there's so many people that love their club because they watched it with them. Like, okay, for instance, your grandpa and your Auntie Becky started watching wrestling with grandpa. You understand me? Your nanan even told me she used to, was it with her dad, used to watch Big Daddy. He was an English wrestler from the 70s and stuff. More history, you understand? So people, this here is a tradition. I watched football with my dad in the 80s and 90s and my uncle and my grandpa and my family. Now he's doing the same with his daddy. So this means more. Yeah? So, with that said, we need more from you now. Why else do you love Liverpool?
Right. Another reason why I love Liverpool is because obviously they've had loads of success over the last couple of years.
We need likes as well, but go on.
I think there's this new thing where if I click my hands, that will get light.
No, the light can go on now. Your mum is standing over there. She can put the light on for us, please. Right.
It works.
It works, yeah.
So anyways, basically we've had loads of success over the years.
You're not a glory hunter.
I'm not a glory hunter. I'm just making it known. I started supporting Liverpool mainly because of my dad, because I saw him raging at the TV every single week, basically. So yeah, I saw him just raging at the TV and I was wondering, why? Why are you laughing?
Yeah, we just left church. Hey, you Lord, praise the Lord, man, brother. And then, yeah, he sees me, yeah.
Like, how are you going from praise the Lord, hallelujah, to wanting to
smash the TV? Yeah, just say it, son. Call it out. It is.
Smash the TV. Yeah. Like, come on. So,
But,
anyways, I saw my dad's passion for the club. So when I got older, I decided. I think one night, I watched about maybe like 1 or 2 highlights of the games, and I saw everyone's passion for the game. I was like, wow, this is a club I wanted to support. So I think come the 2019 Champions League final, I went out somewhere, but I think I came back in time, and it was like halfway through the second half, and on the way back, I was checking the score, and I saw it was 1-0, so I was like, yes, we're winning the Champions League. So then when I got back, I obviously settled in to the house, and then, what's it called? In the 87th minute, Big Divock Origi ended up scoring the second goal to crown us champions. Which actually, I find a bit touching, because really and truly, I feel sorry for that man, because right now, I don't know where he is. But
let's keep it to why you love Liverpool, son.
But
you're like your daddy, you go on a tangent sometimes, but come on, go on.
So yeah, anyways, then the next day, right after, wait, no, not the next day, but the next year, after we finished winning the league, the Champions League, and the year after, we ended up winning the league for like the first time in 30 years. For me, obviously, like my dad said, I already had to wait 10 years.
9 years for the Champions League, 10 years for the league.
Yeah.
And then we won the league in Convid.
Wait, how much years did you have to wait for the Champions League and Prem, Dad?
I was born 81. I saw the Champions League in 2005. Jersey Dudek.
No, I mean 2019, 2020.
No, I saw them win the Champions League in 2005.
Yeah.
So that would have been... Where's my mask gone? Jesus, I'm not even on the drink. Jeez. Oh, come on, where's the math, son? Come on, help me out here. You're the one guy in school.
Hold on, let me think. Right, so
oh my God,
81.
man. 81 to 91's 10 years. 91 to 2001's another 10 years. So that's 20. That's 24 years.
Yeah, 24 years. To 2001. So then, I mean, not 2001,
This is embarrassing. My maths has left me right there. We're live on Facebook. Yeah, man.
Unlucky.
So
it happens.
I waited I basically waited 24 years.
So yeah, we'll keep it at that.
Yeah.
So,
but 2005, where is that relevant? Is who was in the room to see me? And guys, just to let you guys know, I won't go in church. I won't go into the church I go to now, so I can say this and people know it's my past. Yeah, right? Who was in the room to see me take my trousers down and show my bum to the TV?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Your big sister, Azaria.
Oh,
yeah.
My days.
So imagine, guys, I'm watching the Champions League final. I'm watching AC Milan, another European royalty, basically make us look like babies. 3-0 at halftime. Yeah, right? I'm casting the TV. They're getting the bird where you stick one finger up and I'm showing my bum to the TV. I've probably gone through the dictionary of swearing, and I'm like, God, why have you let me down? I don't know how being got into it after I finished swearing people, right? But what happens here is after half time, yeah, right? Now, this is where you should be coming in. Who scored the first goal in the second half for Liverpool in the 2005 Champions League final? Go.
Liverpool's best ever player, Steven Gerrard.
And who scored the second? From 18, 20, 23 yards.
I think it was like the guy called Smeacher.
Smeacher! And who?
Xabi Alonso.
You see, now I could have asked you who actually won us the game. And technically, it's not a Xabi Alonso. You're right, he scored the penalty. But was it a clean penalty?
No, it was a rebound.
There you go. Who won us that game?
Mr. Jersey Dudek.
When?
In the penalty shootout.
No.
Wait.
Jersey Dudek in the 2005 Champions League final won us the game with one of the most miracle saves ever. Shevchenko, Andrei Shevchenko, if I'm pronouncing that properly. From where? From where?
Ukraine.
Ukraine. That's right. Yeah.
Keep in mind.
3 yards out. With nothing but goal.
Oh, yeah, true.
And Jersey Dudek, people, I'm not exaggerating. If you pull this up on Google now, Google it now. If you put up Jersey Dudek miracle save 2005 final, he's like this. His eyes are closed and he's like this, like he's praying. I'm not exaggerating. The ball goes up. That's going in. We are done.
Saved it.
He saved it.
This man.
Who scored our final penalty and who missed theirs for us to officially win it?
I don't know, but I can say it wasn't a miss which won us the final. It was the save. Because I remember Jersey Dudek saved 3 pens, I think. I think he...
And my son is right. It wasn't a miss, it was a save. And yes, he made 3 saves. Remember, he ain't even born, people. Yeah, and this is why it's relevant today. Because when I'm 6, 7, like, he wasn't even born.
I wasn't even...
Before I'm born, the great 70s and the great Paisleys and the Shankleys, I'm hearing these stories with my dad and my uncle talking about it and my grandpa talking about it. Because on one side, my grandpa's giving Liverpool respect, like, yeah, they were great managers. On the other side, he's ripping into them because he's an Arsenal fan. Can you imagine that your grandpa was an Arsenal fan?
Wait.
Yeah, I know. Your great-grandpa, the great Leo McDonald Hughes, the professor, they called him.
Oh, I thought you were talking about your dad. How?
You should go to bed for that. Right now, this stream ends, you should go to bed for that. Your grandpa, my dad, an Arsenal fan. And your mum's giving us this. We're coming off in a minute, yeah?
Nah.
Right, we're coming off in a minute.
Nah.
You need to phone grandpa and apologise to him, right? So people, that's just a preview of what's going to happen on the channel. On YouTube, it'll be more lighting, better, lovely graphics and all the bells and whistles. Right, yeah. But we will be talking about stuff like this. Why do we love our club? And giving you historical facts about... So we're going to hear stuff about the Windrush and the connection to football clubs. Because remember the Windrush, they came in the Tilby Docks, which is just down the river from where we are now. Southampton and the Liverpool Docks. And why is that relevant to... If you look at that... So what I've just given you there, them coming to Liverpool Docks... we're coming from the Caribbean and the motherland, so obviously we mix with the people then, and that's why you got a lot of mixed race people, and I hope that's the right. So I don't offend everyone when I say that, but a lot of mixed race people were mixing basically in Liverpool, in Manchester, in Wolverhampton, Birmingham, Aston Villa, you know, all that area. So there's this stuff we're going to talk about, because there's a lot of people follow clubs and they don't know why are we following this club. Why does our family follow this club? Like Liverpool, Everton fans are basically in the same family. Jamie Carragher, one of Liverpool's best defenders, one of the best defenders ever. He was Evertonian, and Robbie Fowler, Evertonian, Michael Evertonian, but they ended up playing for Liverpool. Understand me? There's stories about that. And most of what the facts that they give you, I'm reading their biographies. I'm getting it from the horse's mouth. You understand me? Then I'm not going Google. No, I'm going deep under, not the dark web. I'm not doing nothing illegal. But I will be going into the players from the horse's mouth. I'm going to raw form stats to give it to you people. You understand me? Because I'm going to share about the thing I love. And it's an emotional season as well, because WrestleMania is always around Easter, and that was last week, and I remember watching that with my daddy and my auntie Becky and my grandpa, and that's why I love my wrestling. So I'm a sports fanatic. So I'm going to give people sports on another end, like for instance the Nigel Connor Ben, whatever his name is, and Eubank. The politics behind that, I'll go into that. I'm not a boxer really, but I will go into the facts and give it to people, you understand me, and let people see sports from another perspective. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, it's Sunday. I'm about to go and have a bit of a brandy and a Coke, just a little tipple, warm the belly as they say. I need to get dinner somehow and go enjoy the fact that we are the champions. Uncle Lloyd, I see you there. We did it, lads. We did 20 times champions of England, 2-0, 6 Champions Leagues, 10 League Cups, 7 or 8 FA Cups. Can't keep count because we win so many trophies.
Facts.
We are the champions, and we did it together. We didn't spend like City and Arsenal and Chelsea and Man City and Manchester United and Tottenham and Forest spend money.
Okay, we get
Let me tell you, we don't spend no money. Yeah? We
spent a measly 12 mil.
On Chelsea.
No, on Chiesa.
Sorry.
Wait, no,
Chiesa.
let me make this straight.
No, it's 12 million on Chiesa and the goalkeepers to come. So we ain't spent that money yet. We've just signed him and we're going to give them their money when he comes.
Yeah.
But the point of the matter is, Arsenal, come on now, 300 million in 2.5 years.
And you can't even win yourself an FA Cup.
Declan Rice maybe should have stayed at West Ham and they would be Europa League winners, maybe. They won the Conference League and they go into the Europa League and if he didn't leave. So anyway, Christian's mum's going to go nuts now because she wants to use the washing machine and put him to bed. I'm going to go and have a tipple. She'll probably have a brandy and Coke with me. And I'm going to get some food.
Alright.
Yeah, I'll probably have a walk to calm down. So people, I hope I see you guys on more lives because I'm going to be doing them. I will be posting on WhatsApp and on Facebook dates and times, and it will be a regular thing. And I look forward to connecting with you guys out there about the facts of sports. And I don't like that word religion, but sports and God. That's it. That's what we're going with. It's called sports and God.
Exactly.
Right? Any last words, my son?
Thank you for taking you. Actually, no. Thank you for you guys taking your precious time out of wherever you guys are to watch the stream. We really appreciate the viewership because this is just the start. This is the start. Because you see, even the biggest clubs like the Liverpools, the Man United, well, not Man United anymore.
Them small club now. Them lay what? They're 15th for the table and thing there. 14. We're the man now.
So yeah. So
if they win the Europa League, that will be only 3 times. We won it 3 times. Anyway, continue, son.
So yeah. So even the big clubs like the Liverpools, the Real Madrids, the AC Milan, they all had humble beginnings. This is our humble beginnings. Because guess what? Yeah. You see, when my dad starts the YouTube channel, I will speak it into existence with the power of God. Within the year, he will get anything between 100k and 2 mil. Anything in between.
What, viewers or money?
Both.
Out of the mouth of babes and suckling. Anyway, let's end with when you walk through a storm,
wait.
Hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of a storm, there's a golden sky. and the sweet silver song of a lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, through your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. And you'll never walk alone. With hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. Remember that, people. Peace out. That's us done. I need to go and jump around like a nut and go for a walk to calm my head, because I know his mum ain't gonna want me to be in here with this energy and this madness, and my daughter needs to sleep as well. So people, we will again look out on the WhatsApp, look on the Facebook. You see the dates and times when I'm going live again. I will be live on YouTube next, and we're gonna take this places. Love you all. Many blessings. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Yeah.